And whenever you're ready, Lori, I'll begin an initiation to Facebook.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am. Just give me one moment.
Good, you streaming?
Yes.
All right, so let's call the CB11 Transportation Committee to order. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. I do want to thank everyone who came to the MTA redesign workshop 2 weeks ago. At our last committee meeting, one of the ideas we had was to do a one-page flyer to put on all the bus stops that were being removed. We did that. We had it translated into 4 languages. And I don't know if anybody else noticed at the MTA workshop that there were residents there and they held up our flyer. And we just acted very innocently about that. So it was good. People read it and actually listened and actually called in. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about one general recommendation that we can make, and that's about them eliminating all these bus stops. And we know we need these bus stops, not just for our seniors, for our students and everything else. How does everybody feel about if we put in a recommendation that no bus stops should be removed? No bus stops should be eliminated.
Yes.
I agree. That's the way it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just that it's hard to say, what if people didn't come out and we don't advocate for a certain bus stop or certain bus stops to not be removed because those people didn't come out and we're not advocating for them, but yet there's people who need that bus stop and yet we don't know it because we haven't heard from them. So instead of picking and choosing which bus stops to say, don't eliminate this one or this one or this one, just say all of them, keep them as is, especially since we have such a high senior population that utilizes the buses quite a lot.
I think we can absolutely do that, but I don't think the MTA cares. I've been told directly that by the summertime, they're already going to have finalized the bus redesign. And they haven't even, and I found this out earlier this week, which they haven't even finished their process yet. But I was told with people that were in the MTA planning meeting, they've already made it known that they will have their final redesign by the summertime. How could they even possibly do that if they're not even really going to consider any of our recommendations or any community board's recommendation? If you look at what Community Board 13 did, they actually didn't approve anything. They said, no, this is unacceptable.
Right.
I also think Community Board 10 took the same stand.
If you ask me, we should be taking that stand. They've cut so much when they did it. Look at what they did to the Express. Look at what they did to the 64. Look at what they, it's just asinine that they think that this is okay.
So then, I mean, if the committee's okay with it, then we could recommend to the board, to vote on the board, that our recommendation from the committee is that no bus stops should be eliminated at all. Just leave it as is and not pick and choose which ones we think should stay.
That's correct.
Everybody's okay.
Yes.
Jay, you okay with
Yeah,
that? Jay,
that would be best.
Jay, you all right with that?
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Oh,
All right, so then the committee's recommendation is to not eliminate one single bus stop. But let's talk about some of the other lines where they're making changes to. So for example, the B64, which they are discontinuing to go towards the pier on 69th and Shore. That's going to limit the students' access to get there and also limit access to get to the parks and to the pier itself. So, I mean, that's something that we could, depending on how the committee feels, recommendation to say that we think that line should stay as it is. and continue to Shore Road and not end on like 4th Avenue.
Eh.
What, Angelo?
Yeah, am I correct in that I heard that they're going to start ferry service now from that pier into
Yeah.
Walden? So why would they cut this bus line now? I mean, I think that should be the justification, or at least the argument
That
to
too.
make, is that
Yeah,
in light of the fact that we've got this new express ferry service to downtown Manhattan, that bus route shouldn't be cut at all.
because they have no clue what's going on.
Oh, there's a lot of truth to what Robert has said, that a lot of, these decisions have been made. And the ink is already dry as far as the MTA is concerned. But at the same time, it's only a logical logical position on our part.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they even realize about that.
I want to make a
Someone
motion.
else just said that in the comments about the ferry access.
Yeah, I think we should also.
Thank you, Robert. The other Robert.
I think we as a committee should tell you, you know what? You've got to extend, you have to replace some of the express service that you're gonna be cutting from our neighborhood going into Midtown.
Yeah,
We didn't get there yet.
yeah, we'll do that one next. I think it's Monty, you have to correct me. Is it the B4 that they want to discontinue going to Coney Island Hospital?
Correct.
Yes,
So that's another one that, to say to continue service to Coney Island Hospital, to keep it and not stop it before that.
Definitely.
but not even
Okay.
that. You gotta remember, you have students to go to Grady, to Lincoln, and to the other high school that's over there. You'd be cutting off their access.
Okay. High schools. Right, and they take public transportation.
Mhm.
You'd be surprised how many junior high school and actually elementary students that take school buses, the city bus to school. I see, yeah, it's the city bus has become the new school bus.
Right. Monty, what was it that we were talking about, the B6 on Shore Parkway with BJ's and all that? Remember we
Yeah.
had this discussion about that?
Yeah, so when we were at the meeting, number one, they separated all of us, so we couldn't gather input from part of the cohort, right? Because it was A and B. And one of the concerns that we had was that by removing the B6 from Shore Parkway and replacing it with the 82, the 6 runs along north-south on Bay Parkway, and the 82 comes from Kings Highway in an opposite direction. So you're cutting off access to the shopping centers, right, locally. And because when we asked the question of the MTA, if we could have, well, the question was asked, do you have utilization numbers by bus stop? And they do, and they refuse to share them publicly. So as a board, as a community, we can't review where people are originating or their destination. So there was a large concern. Well, someone on 61st Street, if they want to shop at Target, they
No,
will no
they-
longer have access.
They'd either have to transfer or they'd have to transfer to the 82 or walk from Cropsey Avenue.
Right. But not all, some of us have mobility issues, and that's a long walk, especially in colder weather. It's a hike. And to be
Plus,
quite
we-
frank, I don't know if I would want my relatives crossing Bay Parkway or Shore Parkway to gain access there.
Yeah, that is that whole area for walk
Correct,
pedestrians.
correct. So that was the concern. We didn't know where they were coming from. Only the 82 coming from Kings Highway through the district will go down there, and not the people that are living in the 60s or coming from that way. And by the way, I mean, all the feedback we received from the flyers that we posted, asking residents to email us some of their comments if they couldn't gain access to the virtual meeting. And we got some great feedback, and all the feedback was, please do not remove bus stops. We use these bus stops, we need them. So I just wanted to add that. So I don't know how we can make a decision if they're not sharing the information.
Yeah, that was, we asked about that. And that was so
Correct.
funny because they said, yeah, we have it, but we're not at liberty to share.
When I was in the one that I was in, I asked, I says, when you guys came down and actually looked at, did anybody come into this neighborhood and look about the changes that you were? It was basically, oh, well, we'll be down there soon. We'll have pop-up soon. But that's not my question. My question was, when you decided to redesign this, did you even come out and look at what exactly you're doing to the community? And that was basically blown off.
I don't want to hear it.
You know. So how does everyone feel about that issue about the shop, Caesar's Bay and the bus not going there anymore?
It's gotta go there.
I think it's gonna be a problem, to be honest with you, because a lot of people take the 6 because it goes to Caesar's Bay, also BJ's, which is a little further down. It's the second stop. Unfortunately, you gotta go to Crosby to get the bus going back, but at least going there, you can take a direct run. You go, the first stop, I believe is where the TD Bank is, which is, the parking lot. The next stop is the BJ's. The BJ's stop.
There's one more stop in between there. That's the BJ's, the third stop.
Yeah, by them moving the storage place, I think.
Oh,
it is.
yeah,
Based
yeah,
on-
right,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Strauss.
Storage, the stop and store. That's the second stop. That's correct. I'm sorry. But
So
I mean, the bottom line is a lot of people take that bus to get to the me included. I mean, I don't have a car anymore, so I have to rely on the transportation.
So then do we want to put that also as a recommendation to the full board that they leave that B6 as is going to the shopping center and to BJ's?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, and operationally, we also asked, how do you plan on having all these buses make that left-hand turn from southbound Bay Parkway onto Cropsey Avenue? You can't do it now,
No.
right? We put in, how many requests have we made for a left turn signal that they keep denying? So operationally, I don't even understand how this will work without that turnaround.
And
Well,
and to point out, I think we pointed out when we all spoke, I talked about now you're gonna have 5 lines come and go along Bay Parkway. We already have problems already up to at least 80th Street with a traffic issue. They haven't come and told us exactly what they're putting in there. It says a priority corridor. Again, that was completely ignored.
They're not sharing it.
Because they don't,
Okay, so leave the B6 turnaround on Shore Parkway.
Yes.
Traffic is going to be disaster if they do that left turn for the buses on Crosby Avenue. It's bad enough the traffic is a disaster the way it is now. And
The
that's the
buses-
buses.
Yeah, the
Make-
bus can only make the left turn on the red.
Well, there's no turn
Yeah.
signal on Crosby for the,
Yeah,
but
we
there
asked.
there is one at the beach, at the Shore Road or Shore Park, whatever.
Shore
Yeah.
Parkway, correct.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it makes all the, at least traffic is a little, going through. They changed that to now do that on Crosby Avenue. That's going to be disaster. It's a zoo there it is now.
I also question where they're going to do the turnaround to begin with. Are they going to put it up the residential blocks?
So do we want to include about the B6 having a turnaround on Shore Parkway?
Correct,
Yes.
I have that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't
Okay.
think that they're going to have the availability to do the turnarounds from Crosby Avenue with some of these side streets being wide enough for the buses to make a turn.
Yeah, I don't see how. I
No.
just want to acknowledge Richard in the comments that he says that Caesar's Bay badly needs better public transit access to and from.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. All right,
Robert,
so then we'll include the B6 in there too.
Mhm.
Robert, are any of those B6 runs, are they articulated buses?
no,
No. B1 has the articulated buses. And the
That only-
35 so far that I've seen.
Okay.
All right, so
But
should we move?
right now, they're not articulators, but my guessing here is they will if they get their way. Because that's whole part of their plan. They're gonna save money.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah. All right, you ready to talk about, let's talk about express buses. I think it was currently the X38, but it's gonna be the BM or BW 38,
All right.
right? It's gonna have
BM8C.
no weekend service at all. I mean, that's, to me, that's a big issue. How do people get back and forth to the city?
Does the 28 go on the weekends or it was only the 38?
The 28 currently goes on weekends, the 38 does not. But my problem here is during the weekday after 9 o'clock, you don't have no access to Midtown. That's,
Stopping at 9?
yeah, at 9 o'clock, after 9 o'clock, you'd have no access to Midtown.
And what about between 12 and 3?
I
No,
think it's one bus.
But then there's also the issue about the reduced fares for seniors.
Correct.
And
Right.
it's, yeah, Marnie, do you want to, the woman who called you, could you explain what she said to you about that whole?
Sure. So the changes that they're proposing on the express bus service would restrict reduced fare seniors to exactly 4 buses to get into the city all before noon, and exactly 1 bus to get out of Manhattan before the higher fare kicks in. The reduced rate Metro card for the express bus charges full fare for the hours between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. and 7, no matter which way you're going. This
Yeah,
is
but-
not true for the Long Island Railroad or Metro North. On
Yeah.
both of,
but what you think, those 4 buses that you are only gonna go into downtown. They're not gonna
correct,
go to Midtown. They're not gonna
correct.
go to
So,
the-
Right, no, but listen to about the fare piece of it though, which means
right,
that people going, when they want to come home, they have to leave before 3 p.m. or before, like, at an earlier bus. Like, you can't stay in Manhattan past 2 o'clock or whatever the last bus is.
Well, you pay full price.
Right,
675, correct. And it's unfair. I mean, something has to give. You have a subway system, right, that is not ADA compliant. We have 1 elevator thus far.
Right.
That's it.
But to increase you said the subway system, it hasn't been the D hasn't been running that very well. How many times have they had signal problems out of Stillwell that strips the D train? How many times did they have that fire underneath there that stripped the community of?
Yeah, no, Robert, I guess my point is that the demographic that's going to be most impacted are our older residents, and it's unfair. It's unfair that we're limiting when and where and how they can travel to go outside of Brooklyn.
And the other thing that should be mentioned is a lot of seniors will not take the subways, because of ADA and also because of the crime that's happening on the subways. And a lot of them can't go up and down the stairs.
Agreed.
So they have to rely on the buses.
and
Agreed.
also, it's a lot of the folks that live in Bath Beach, the subway is really far from them if you live on Cropsey Avenue.
Right, yes.
Mhm. That's right.
You know,
So currently, do they have access to take those buses that late at night with the reduced fare?
I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying like currently, can they take a bus at 5 p.m. at reduced fare?
Yes.
No.
No, off-peak.
So basically, we're asking for something totally new if we wanted to make this suggestion.
Well, I mean, I think most of, a lot of the feedback that we received was do not touch our ability to travel into Manhattan on the weekends
Right.
or other hours. You're giving us, I mean, residents especially older residents, I mean, that they're retired, that they can go as they please, doctor's appointments, you want to see a show, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And this plan is really eliminating their ability.
So what do we want to
To be-
say about the express bus service then?
Don't
As a
touch
committee
it.
to the board? Don't touch it. Leave it alone.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, as is.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Does anyone know the schedule of the express bus? I know it changed with the pandemic. Like they put more buses on.
After 10 o'clock, it's once an hour on the 28th. Going into the city.
Okay,
And the bus that leaves now, it goes all the way into Midtown.
Correct.
57.
If they get the way their service, it would only go into downtown and turn around.
I mean, why would they only take you to the beginning of Manhattan and not take you to the 57th Street? Most people keep going. That's
I-
what you gotta put in. Don't eliminate it.
Well, they did two. They did the BM8, which is the peak hours. And then they call it a hybrid version, the BM8C, which is off-peak.
Yeah,
But it would,
So,
it would only go, but it would only go into downtown Manhattan. You're still cutting off Midtown.
correct, and I don't know the reason, I don't know. Listen, I'm not defending in any way. What I'm saying is, I think maybe the rationale was on the peak, it would take you to lower Manhattan. I don't know. I don't know how they think or what they're thinking.
the rationale is no cars in Manhattan, no buses in Manhattan, only bikes.
I don't know how to get you on a bicycle.
Yeah, lots of luck.
Actually, I don't think that's the case. I think they're trying to cut service. Well, they say that after was it Thomas Street, they don't get as many people going into the middle part of it.
You know what? There-
So they don't want to spend to send somebody up into Midtown, up to that portion of it.
Basically, there's nobody jumping on the bus once it gets into Manhattan, lower Manhattan, going up to Midtown. And they're probably right about that because most folks are opting for local buses or the subway.
Yeah, but what about those people that want to go see the seniors, the seniors that want to go see the Broadway show?
Well, you're preaching to the choir. I get it. This is what, this is what their mindset is. This is what Yano Lieber and the rest of the clowns over at the MTA are thinking.
I have to say, there are times when I see the bus going by, that gigantic bus, and there's 2 or 3 people on it. It's like having your own private car service. Years ago, they should have purchased half a bus, made a half a bus to run midday when there isn't that crowd, the way there is in the morning or at night coming home. But they never looked in the future before.
MTA never plans for the future. They always plan for now.
Now, they only buy new cars now, right? All subway cars.
Yeah, that the half of them don't work.
So
Everything,
so on the express bus piece, we want to say, leave it as it is.
We oppose these
And
changes.
yeah, just leave it be and keep it going to Midtown. Don't just
Right.
stop, downtown, so forth. What else? I'm just looking at my notes from the last meeting and all the things, a lot of it was about removing stops. So we covered that in one fell swoop. Anything else? What else? Are we missing anything?
No,
restore leave the B1 headways as is. Don't increase the span between buses. Again, you got students that use it to our shopping district. How fair is that? You know what? You're going to have less buses going here, people going to our shopping district.
What about the B1 going to Kingsborough?
The B1 is still going to Kingsborough, but again,
But no, that's one of the cutbacks, isn't it?
No, the
No.
B49, the B49,
the
the
B1
one
Which
that
is
comes
no
down Bethany
way-
Avenue.
near us.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that was fake news that was being passed around. So wait, so Robert, let's go back a second. The B1, I know people had talked about, especially like by the 7-Eleven and by Petco and that whole area over
Oh.
there.
I made them make sure that you put that stop back, instead of being by the church, which I told you would be a safety concern, put it back to where it was at 25th Avenue. Instead of in the middle of the block. Instead of where they want to put the northbound stop in front of the church there. And not at the corner, not actually access to 25th Avenue. When you're coming northbound, right now you stop at 25th Avenue at the light. Now they want to put it up by the church.
Yeah.
Like the middle of the block?
That is correct.
Well, they had to move it. Well, they said they had to move the 24th Avenue, correct? Because of the driveways by McDonald's. That was the reasoning, if you recall.
That was a part of the safe.
Yes,
buses came-
routes for transit. Oh, the bus stops under the L.
Correct, right, well, the safe transit, but
Yeah.
they were saying that they had to move the one at 25th Avenue because of the medical place here, they wanted to move that stop away from the medical driveway there.
No, I think it was the McDonald's. I
Okay.
will check. It's online. I will look.
Okay.
Lori, we have some attendees. If you want to open it up, if anyone has a
Yeah.
statement or a question.
Yeah, I know Richard made a few comments that I
Yeah.
appreciated it, but if you want to open it up, sure.
Sure.
I have no
So if
issues.
anyone would like to speak, if you would use the raise hand function, we will recognize you.
Carrie Hines,
Yes, Kerry, if you would just unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. Well, listen, I have to say, this is my first time kind of observing one of these meetings. I think I caught one video just recently. I have to say, I am so impressed beyond words, and to see everybody's passion. And it just touches my heart to even think that folks can be considering diminishing the number of bus stops, so making it more complicated and difficult for folks who are already challenged. And we just don't have all of that access. And the gentleman, I forget who it was who said about the mobility issues and all of that. Thank you so much for this. And I'm hoping to follow every single aspect of what you guys are doing, and whatever I can do on my little end to help. And I really appreciate this today. So thank you. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. That was very nice of you to say. We try. Transportation Committee and Zoning Committee, the two. Once we have to be gluttons for punishment, you really have to have some passion involved with it. Otherwise. Anybody else or anything else? Are we leaving anything out, Robert?
can we,
Uh,
are we gonna make their official request to, what's their timetable for pop-ups that they said they were going to do? Or, you know what, we gotta make sure that the MTA in their next phase, which they already said they already gonna have a finalized design by summertime, that they do the pop-ups before then.
Yeah, they did say they didn't give a specific timeline for the pop-ups, date-wise. I didn't hear of anything
No, but
in all the meetings.
if I remember correctly, they said they would do pop-ups for us.
Yeah,
But my problem here is if they do it already after they finalize their design by the summertime. Okay, that's how they're gonna get away with this. So they say, well, it was already done.
I don't believe that they're gonna finish by summertime.
Lori?
They're always delayed. Richard's
We-
here.
Yeah, just one moment. We should also include while you're on the pop-up, so it doesn't go out of my head.
Right.
If you remember, they showed on a map where they were going to do pop-ups. There was nothing in the northwestern ends of the district.
Did,
Oh, yeah,
It was Bay Parkway.
Yeah,
and 65th and Avenue O, the two stations there.
They gotta do Cropsey in Bay Parkway.
86th Street and
Yeah, do
18th
86th Street and
Avenue,
Bay Parkway.
75th and, yeah.
well, we had
for
a whole
sure.
list, so we already got the board to vote on that last time, so we could include that
Okay,
after we get the board to vote on the recommendations that we're saying tonight.
Mhm. Okay,
Richard,
Richard.
welcome,
Hey.
Richard.
Thank you. I'm just saying hello from 14th Avenue and 83rd Street. Appreciate what you're doing. And yeah, the MTA should really be encouraging the use of transit. That's what's going to improve traffic. If transit access, the better it is, the more people will use that instead of cars for a given trip. So that's going to be the best medicine for reducing traffic. So it seems perverse what they're doing.
Mhm.
True.
okay.
And if you hear
Sure.
cooing in the background, it's my baby daughter. So sorry about that.
It's okay.
I would
Thank you,
happily show
Richard.
her on camera if that were an option, but just imagine a really cute baby girl.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah,
Any-
I don't think the MTA cares about us. They really don't. They apparently, you know what? This isn't Manhattan. This isn't as what are they part of it? They don't care about us. And look at how many. Well, look what they did with the 82 when they tried to roll us on that. They don't care. They really don't. They just would rather us go absolutely nowhere and just shut up.
I think
Well,
there's,
we're not.
I think there's a complete disconnect. I don't know if anybody has followed what took place recently with the Long Island Railroad and the opening up of the into Grand Central, and basically eliminating all of the opportunities for these trains that used to come in from Long Island to go to Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn. They've pretty much cut down all of that service. So there is a complete disconnect at the MTA. I just don't understand what the mindset is there.
It's money. It's money.
Well, I don't know if it's money. They've got a never-ending of supply of money. It seems every time they need money, they come up with it. There's something else going on here, and I just don't know what it is. But they totally ignored the concerns of all of those riders coming in from Long Island, and I just got a gut feeling they're doing the same thing across the board on the transit side also.
They're not coming into downtown Brooklyn at all now, the other new one?
They've severely reduced
Cut
the
back?
amount of trains that are going into Atlantic Avenue. Yeah.
You basically have to transfer to Jamaica in order to come into Brooklyn from Long Island, basically.
So it's not just on the bus side.
Yeah,
The agency as a whole is just, I don't know what the mindset is.
efficiency experts.
No.
Well, hopefully they come back with a second draft plan that would give us more opportunity to voice opposition to what
Right.
they're planning. And then again, try to rally up, the troops, get the local folks, out and get them to speak up.
Right.
If the timetable is right, they were supposed to come back to us in December of this.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can't go by their timetable, Robert. They're always delayed. Everything. If they say it's gonna be March, that means you're lucky if September, if not longer.
I know
You
somebody.
can never rely on that.
I know what they told the unions. They fundamentally told the unions flat out, no uncertain term, by July or August of this year, they will have the Brooklyn redesign already done.
I don't believe it. That's what they're telling the unions. They have to tell the union something, right? What are they gonna say to the unions? We don't know when we're gonna get done.
Well, they
You know.
if I'm not mistaken, they already told us they don't know how this is gonna work out operationally anyway, right? That's what they already told us,
It's not.
right?
What's it
Ron,
called?
that's what they told you. They didn't know how this
Yes.
was gonna work operationally.
Trial and error,
Yep.
And
trial
what-
and error.
And we, the Southern Brooklyn residents, get screwed every time.
Well, hopefully they do come out with another draft plan and it gives us an opportunity to get folks to speak up more again. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Anything else? Did we cover everything? Was there? Good.
I think so.
All right, so we'll make these recommendations to the board at the next meeting in March. And I'm sure people will be on board. They were on board with us, the last recommendations that we had from the committee. And then that way we could put it in formal writing.
Mhm.
So the
And it's in
MTA
person,
redesign
so-
group,
Just hope.
yeah. Listen, we're trying. That's the only thing we can do is try. Can't just sit back.
Well, you saw the last time we had more people come out to the meeting. So hopefully that'll happen again, especially with the zoning.
Mm. Yeah,
That's another one.
and maybe, by the time this comes to completion or the next draft will be live in person and more people will show up then.
Yes,
Because you have a lot of people who are intimidated by the technology piece of it.
yeah. Okay,
And that's also another challenge that they,
Ignored
lot
and
of
said
pe-
pop-ups.
exactly, and that's why it's important to go out and speak to people in their language and get feedback. So many people didn't know. I mean, the young lady that was at the meeting that held up the flyer,
yeah,
she said, how come I had to hear about this on a poll from my community board? And that was just one person. I mean, this was a younger woman who travels and is out and about. So I mean, listen, we have, there's 15.5% of the population is over age 65.
yeah,
48% don't speak English well. And that's who you see at the bus stops waiting. I mean,
Yes.
especially at those 18th Avenue and 86th Street. I mean, that one really hurts. I mean, every day that I go by, you see 6, 7 older, probably non-English speaking people waiting for the bus there, and they have no idea.
no, that,
Right.
because I'm on the bus, I see that all the time now.
I wonder if they are required to follow environmental justice rules as it relates to, with other transportation projects, if it falls into environmental justice community, they have to show that meet certain metrics on the outreach and engagement in those communities. I wonder if the MTA is required to do that.
Hmm,
I have to look into that.
Okay.
Whether they require it or do it, it's two different things.
Well, it's law. I mean, you're a city agent, well, a quasi. I don't know what they are.
The state,
They're actually state run now.
everything comes out of Albany.
Yeah.
So the state, actually, it's not a state agency, it's the state authority. They're technically independent. And they have appointees from the governor and also the mayor that are on the board that actually make decisions. And I've told them physically, when I said something, I says, decisions that you guys make here at the board affect the rest of the communities that you affect, not just Manhattan. I told them, I says, Central Business District, that's how should I say this, a quasi thing, you know what? Each community has their own central business district. Not everybody from this neighborhood goes into, especially seniors and all that, go into Manhattan for their business.
no,
And then you also question, are they planning for the future? I mean, in a community like ours, we're seeing population growth, right? Currently, we have approximately 200,000 residents, and we have developments in the pipeline. Some have been approved, some are getting to that process. I mean, how are they planning?
Only thing they're planning, the only thing they're planning for the future is autonomous buses with no drivers. That's,
oh, great,
that's what they're looking at. I could tell you firsthand.
Wait,
And it's not only them, that's every transit agency in the country.
ridiculous.
I got better for you. It's autonomous buses with not drivers that is going to carry 2 buses at once.
Got autonomous school buses in Florida. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Trying to get rid of people.
That
Every
driver-
week I get an
that driver is a financial liability. That's the bottom line.
No,
All in the name and all disguised behind so-called technology that is safer, which is just nonsense. but it's coming, so.
We
Okay.
can't even get a left turn arrow.
We can't even get a sign up that says to stay left to the belt. For 2 years.
2
asking for this
years.
One sign.
It
The
has taken us,
Thing, the
it's all-
silliest thing ever.
Lori and I,
Hey,
In the
two
freezing cold in
on-site
January.
meetings in freezing weather.
In January,
Meeting with
freezing.
DOT to fix the Shore Parkway bike lane before somebody gets
Oh,
killed.
yes.
And preventing a 52-foot truck from driving through that bike lane,
Yes.
that
know.
protected bike lane.
I'm still
right?
going with the sign. The sign is the easiest and the most simplest thing, and they won't do, it's 2 years. You know, when you go in that way to Caesar's Day, you know how people are in the left
Why
lane,
can't
in
we
the
make
middle
our
lane,
own?
and then when they make the turn, they're crisscrossing each other. We were standing there watching them doing that. Like, just put
Why
a sign
can't-
up before they get there that says left lane goes to Belt, middle
Why-
lane goes straight.
why-
to
Bike lane
Shore.
shopping.
Lori,
How hard is that?
why can't we make our own and put it up?
All right, we're sending Eileen out.
Okay.
I
We did
second that
on Bay 8th
nomination.
Street.
I mean, that's like the stupidest and the simplest thing to
Yeah,
do.
that's it. Do it yourself. We'll
It's,
make a collection.
it's because the city doesn't care about us. They don't care about it because we're not a part of the Sutherland Business District. They don't care. I mean, how long, anything that we ever do, anything we ever ask for always gets sidelined.
I know, but this is the really, like, the simplest thing ever.
Well,
That
all
we-
we have
that
to do is
we asked
yell
for.
and scream again, you know, and keep it up from now on.
Okay, so I'll write these up and get them out.
Okay.
for You to review before the meeting and, call it a day.
You got a
Sounds
lot of
good.
work, Lori.
Sounds good. I just
Okay.
copied that link, Angelo, so I could look at it after.
They did stop it, but it was running for a while, and it's only a matter of time before they start it up again.
I gotta look at it. I just saved it, so I can look at it after. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Really appreciate you taking the time. And I'll see
Me
you
too.
at the next full board meeting, I guess.
Next week.
Nice, all right, next
Already,
Thursday.
next week.
Yep.
That's
All right.
Don't forget the zoning.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm trying.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a
Good
good
night,
night,
everybody.
everyone. Thanks so much.
Have a good one.